Hi everybody, this is Valerie and welcome to my yarn room. Today I would like to show how to make a hexagon, I guess you would call it granny hexagon. Now, the yarn that I'm using is pretty thin. It is from Hobie, and it is called Amigo. It says that it is a number 3 yarn, and for crochet hook, it takes a size 4 to 5 millimeter, somewhere around in there. Well, the hook I'm going to use is a 4.5, which is right in between a 4 and a 5. I actually got this hook in a 2-pack from Dollar Tree. Alright, so first things first is you want to make a slip knot. And if you watched my other video, you'll know how. I hold the yarn with the tail facing me, put my 2 fingers like this, facing each other, I guess you would say, turn, and open my fingers up and grab that tail and pull it through. Okay, let's get started. Let's pull our slip knot, but like I said, not too tight. Okay, the way we're going to start is we're going to chain 6. And I know that is a pretty long chain for this. Okay, got my chain of 6. Then we're going to turn it around to where the bumps are, put our hook through the very first chain that I did, pull it through, and pull it through. We just did a slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to chain 3. And I know I told you that I do not like a chain 3 when you're doing a double crochet. When you're doing granny, it's the only way to do it. I don't know. It just don't work out to do a chain 1 and then a double crochet. Okay, so we need to put 2 more, because that's going to count as a double crochet. We need to put 2 more double crochets in this big circle we got here, so that my yarn doesn't twist on me like that and me have to sit there and push it back. The way I like to do it is yarn over, put my finger on it, stick my hook through, pull up a piece of yarn, or pull up the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, we're going to work over our tail as we go. That way we don't have to weave it in later. I don't like doing that. That's like one of the most tedious jobs, is sewing in all them tails. Alright, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we've got our supposed 3 double crochets, so 2 double crochets in the chain 3. That's our 3 double crochets. So we're going to chain 1, chain 2. Okay, now we've got to do that again. So we're going to yarn over, hold the yarn, because it'll twist on you. We're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. 2 more times. one more, and there we go. So we got our 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 2. Now we're going to do this to where we have 6 of these granny clusters. So there's 1, 2, 3, and in between the granny clusters we're going to chain 2. Okay, make sure you're working over that tail so you ain't got to weave it in later. All you can do is just snip it off and it'll be fine. Alright, hold it with your finger. We're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. We gotta chain 2. Alright, we've got 4 of those granny clusters now. We gotta get 2 more. Gotta have 6. Otherwise it's not a hexagon. It's a square. If we closed it off right now, that would just be a square. We need a hexagon. Alright, so yarn over, and we're going to do 3 more. So, 1. Gotta pull out some yarn. 2. And 3. And we're going to chain 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more to go. 1, 2, and 3. But before we close it off, we've got to make a definition between those 2 granny squares. So we have to do our chain 2. Now we're going to count this chain right here, because remember I said that's a double crochet. So we got to count 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into the top of that chain 3, pull a loop through, and then we're going to slip stitch. Okay, so there is our 6 sides. Now I'm not going to slip stitch over to the point here where that I'm going to be working. So I'm going to start working right here. So I'm going to chain my 3. And then that counts as a double crochet. Of course, it always does when you chain 3 in a granny. Alright, so I'm going to yarn over, and right here is my next stitch. So it's right beside of the one we just worked. Make sure you hit that one. And we're going to do a double crochet in it. And then we're going to do a double crochet in this one. And see, we're out of double crochets, because that's the 3 right there. So we're going to double crochet in that big opening. And then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to double crochet into that big opening again. That's going to give us our increase for it to lay flat. Now, we're back at that 3 double crochets right there. So, if you pull it apart, you'll notice your first one is right there. Don't miss that one. I call that the secret stitch. because that's the secret to keeping it even. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into that stitch and do a double crochet. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And that puts 3 double crochets above our 3 double crochets. So we're back at a corner. What do? We're going to put a double crochet into the hole. Pull out some more yarn. Then we're going to chain 2 to form our corner, and we're going to put another double crochet. Now we're back at that secret stitch right there. Don't forget it. And then we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. And when I do that, I'm making sure that I get both pieces to that V at the top of the stitch. We're back at another corner. So we're going to double crochet. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to double crochet. And I bet you could guess what we're going to do now. We're going to go into that secret stitch right there and double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet in the next one. Okay. That's what we're going to do this whole round. And I will meet you back over here at this chain 2 space. See you in a minute. Okay. We made it all the way around to that last chain 2 space before where we started. Okay, so we're going to work a double crochet, and we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work another double crochet in that chain 2 space. That forms our corner. And now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 right here. And you guessed it, we're going to chain 3. Okay, now, before we go any further, I want to show you. Okay, when we started, we did 3 double crochets 6 times with a chain 2 in between. But if you'll look, we now have 5 double crochets because we're increasing 1 on each corner. And that causes our hexagon to lay flat. So, if you keep doing that, you can make your hexagon as big or as small as you want it. You could, well, I'm in Virginia in the U.S., so down here in the South, we call them hot plates. You can make it this big, turn it into a hot plate. I personally am making a whole bunch in different colors And I'm going to sew them together and make a blanket. Well, my ends want to curl, but when you sew it together, they'll completely lay flat. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I went 6 rounds, which gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 double crochets in between each corner. So, but like I said, you can make them big. It's totally up to you. It's your project. You can do these with a bigger hook than a 4.5. You can do these with a different yarn other than a 3-weight. You can actually even, you can do them out of a 6-weight yarn. Totally up to you. Just keep crocheting, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Y'all stay safe.